Hi sweet friends, this is Shauna Noel, and I wanted to jump into our latest kit, which is called Flourish, and it is featuring my friend Becca Blankenship. I am so excited about this month. I love Becca, I love her heart, I love that she was willing to share this month, and I really love her art, and so I really am excited to combine all those things and work through this month together with you guys. So I wanted to start off my page with just a little bit of white paint. I'm going to go ahead and hit it with a heat gun so that I kind of have a nice surface to do a little bit more watery watercolors with. I think that you'll see I just kind of have fun and play with today's entry. It wasn't really pre-planned or anything like that, but it was something that I was just kind of enjoying the process and kind of getting used to these new stamps and seeing what they did and how I could use them and that sort of thing. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. So I used the Illustrated Faith watercolors, and I'm just going to go ahead and put down a little bit of a color wash, keeping in mind the colors on the cover, which are very standard and inspired by Becca. She uses these colors all the time, and so I love that they're included in this kit because they make me think of her and I love her. So I'm just going to add a couple little color washes here and use again those colors on the kit cover and just kind of have fun with it. And what I'm doing here is I'm not worrying too much about perfection or thinking about where things are going to go. I'm just kind of adding color. And to be honest, I'm going to say this right up front, I think what happened is I got a little excited about her stamps and I went like 2 stamps overboard or something. I a little bit overdid it for my personal taste, and so that is something I think we don't talk about enough, is that all of us make mistakes. All of us have pages that we aren't like 100% in love with, but now looking back, especially at this page, I can see that I just went a little too far with the stamps. I should have stopped a little sooner, but that's okay. This is art and Bible journaling and mixed media and painting and learning in the Word of God is all a learning process. And so if we aren't able to make those mistakes and go overboard sometimes and look back and think, oh, I should have stopped a little sooner, then I think that we're doing ourselves an injustice. So many people will say to me, you know, I'm going to wait until I know how to do this perfectly and then maybe I'll start. Well, friends, we never know how to do it perfectly, and perfect isn't the object, I guess, of this process. For me, this is about reading through the devotional, praying, reading through His Word, praying some more, reflecting, and the final piece of that is then documenting what I'm learning from God in my Bible. And so that's where I take 10 to 20 minutes and just kind of do that. And so the Bible journaling aspect of it isn't just the pretty art. A couple people have recently said that they don't understand why we're decorating our Bibles, and I get that. Like, I get not everyone's gonna get Bible journaling, but for me this goes far beyond decorating my Bible. It is a way to document my walk, document what I'm doing in the Word, and do that in a visual way. I think for us visual learners, it really just helps bring to life some things that were maybe harder to understand before, and we can see these little flowers and remember what they mean to us, and we can see the color and remember what verse we're reading, and that is what's so important. And not everyone is a visual learner, and so it's very hard for people that aren't visual learners to get that, and so I understand that, and it's hard, but for us that are visual learners and love to have things to pair up with our prayers and memories and walk, this is a beautiful way to do it. So I am just enjoying this process of adding little flowers to my page and covering up some of the watercolor washes that I added. I think the reason that I got way too carried away with this page is because these stamps are like so much fun to play with, and so it's really hard to stop because they're really fun to layer and cluster and just add all over the page. And so I'm super excited to keep going forward over the next 14 days with this kit. And like I said, I just think I just got like a little child, like can't wait to add more flowers and doodads, so please forgive that process. But I wanted to share a little bit from day 1 from Becca. So day 1 is entitled Free from Fear, and I love that she kicked that off, this whole series off with this one. And we're in Exodus 14:1 through 31. And at the top she says, "They are bewildered by the land. The wilderness has closed them in." And that alone I feel like is so inspiring, and the fact that she highlighted that. And I was just like automatically drawn in. So she then goes on to say, I always cringe a little when I read about the children of Israel. They're whining and complaining, the constant need to be reassured when it's so obvious that, to us that the deliverance they desire is woven into the wilderness adventure. I know it's been said of me too. She is bewildered by the land. The wilderness has closed her in. I have known the ache of confusion, of short-sighted fear and uncertainty. I have wandered through desert places looking for God with my vision clouded by circumstances closing in around me. He was right there all along. But it's impossible to hold tight to the hand of God and where He is leading us when our hands are clasped around fear and doubt. In verses 13 and 14, Moses says, do not be afraid. Stand still. The Lord will fight for you, and you shall hold your peace. This comes right before God parts the seas and asks His people to walk through. This is your moment, a chance to stop in the aimless wandering, to be still and quiet, and to let go of fear. And I think that as I read over that and as I prayed over that today, I just got such a sense of peace and stillness and understanding, and that is beautiful. And I'm just so thankful that Becca was willing to share that with us and give us that vision of the moment, a chance to stop in the aimless wandering and to be still and quiet and to let go of fear. I think so many of us, especially in social media and kind of looking at what other people are doing, it's so easy to get caught up in that aimless wandering. And we just need to stop. We need to focus back on Him and be still and quiet. She then asks us to talk about what we are afraid of and asks us, will you let go and step into the unknown? And I just love that she has started off the devotional that way and is willing to not only say these are some things that I struggle with too, but I see you and I know that you struggle with them also sometimes. And I love that we are able to come together in this community and say, we're not perfect. We don't have it figured out. We have a lot to learn. And we are afraid sometimes. And what can we do to be free from that fear? And how can we strive to hand it over to Him and to really surrender it at the bottom of the cross, at the foot of the cross? And I love that Becca just jumps right in with that. And I really I'm peeking at tomorrow's entry right now because I can't wait to kind of dig in a little bit further. And I don't let the product of my Bible journaling, even though I'm not super excited about that, I don't let that hinder what I've learned today. I will look at that title and I will realize what God put on my heart. I can clearly see what God has done with me even over the past 10 days or so to get me to the point of opening this entry today. And so I am just so intrigued to see the journey that He takes me on and the journey that He takes you on as we work through this Free to Flourish Bible kit together, or devotional kit together. I think that it's just such a gift, and I love that we get to work through it as a community, because I think that brings together, us, and we can talk about these things and we can almost come together as a small group. I love that so many of you are working through these kits in your small groups and you guys all get them and you work through them. I think that's fantastic. But for those of us that maybe aren't doing that or are not able to do that, I love that we have a community online where we're able to do that and talk about how God is working in our lives and where that fear is coming from and what we can do to give it to Him. This is another little funny thing where I messed up my stamp. So I went to go stamp it with the Book It stamp, and it's at the beginning of the Bible, and so it was a little lopsy-daisel. I should have put something a little bit more sturdy underneath it to kind of hold up this page, but instead I kind of kept working at it, and the stamp totally didn't stamp well. So I went ahead and wrote in what I was trying to stamp, and then later I went back and just added some washi tape on top. So I think that part of me was like, I really need to redo this entire video, but the other part of me was like, no, so many of us have these mistakes and these are the ways we can work through it, and we don't need to let the product of our process hinder us from that growth or documenting that process. And so I just wanted to share that, it happens to all of us. I've been Bible drilling for a while now, and I make mistakes too, and that's okay. We can have fun, work through them, and add a little washi tape on top. It'll fix just about anything. I also want to say I love the packaging on this kit, and so I am not throwing away any bits and bobs. I'm going to keep all of it in case I need to add like the little tab on top I cut from the extra pieces of the tabs that were in the kit. And so just keep all that because you never know where you might want to use it and throw it. Again, this is the little washi I'm going to use to cover up the mistake with the stamp I made. I love that it kind of fits in between the paragraphs, and then it also has the title of the kit on it. So I think I might use that little tab more often, a washi tape tab. Which actually shows you that when we make mistakes, sometimes we can really learn and grow from them and take it with us. So I hope you guys all will join us for this kit and just are able to be free from your fear and free to flourish. Have a wonderful day. Bye.